Hey guys, it's Josh here and welcome back to another house build video. This house was inspired by the woolsheds of Australia, in particular my uncle's own woolshed on his farm, which almost looks exactly the same on the outside as the one I built, but it just doesn't have any windows and it's not a house, it's actually still a shearing shed. Anyway, this is actually the second time I'm recording this because the first time I was almost at the end and then I just realized that my mic wasn't on, which is a bit sad, but at least I got to kind of practice, I guess. So hopefully this will be a little bit better than my other voiceovers for my other builds, but I think it won't be that much different actually. Anyway, we're just working on the outside. I do originally try and put old windows in, but since this is a house renovation and I don't think the person renovating this house would just put old windows in, I did pick a modern window instead and basically put it around the whole house. I did do some bigger windows as well for the bedroom just to let some more light in and stuff, but I do just generally use these square windows. And I also put some wall paneling on either side of the door as well, just to make it look like the really old sliding doors that are generally used for the woolsheds are still there, and I think it gave it a nice effect. So you'll see it in a little bit. I was actually trying to research something really quickly while building. I probably should have cut it out, but I didn't. Anyway, I think I've come back. Yeah, I've come back and I've started putting the wall paneling down, which make it look like there's a sliding door, even though that update the other day, well, the update today that came out has sliding doors. I could go back and change it, I guess, but I did build this a few days ago, so it's already on. No, it's not on the gallery yet, but it will be. I might actually change the door before it goes up on the gallery if there is a sliding door now, which there is. I don't know why I'm saying if, but there is a sliding door, so I will probably swap it out before I upload it. Anyway, we're adding the extension now. I do use a really nice glass roof instead of a regular roof because I thought it would be nice, and it's a little bit different as well because the whole house is just basically one big roof, and then this glass roof tries to make the house it just makes the house a little bit different than the rest of the regular boring woolsheds. And it becomes a really nice dining space as well. Anyway, I think I mess around with the windows a little, the roof a little bit because it does clip into the glass roof and it looks a bit weird when it does that, so I do just have to mess around with it for a little bit, but I do end up getting it to work properly. And then we move straight inside and then start working on the interior layout, which doesn't actually take that long because it's basically just a big square. So you don't really have to try and weave bits and pieces into corners and stuff because it's just a square. So you can basically use smaller squares inside the house and create rooms so easily. Anyway, I think we're just gonna skip this part now because I think it goes on for a while because it takes me quite a while to get the roof right. I was going to put the bathroom in that little room right there, but I end up just combining it into the big main bedroom. It's not a master bedroom because there is no ensuite, but that's the main bedroom. The main bedroom is at that side of the house, but there's two smaller bedrooms on this side of the house right now, which we're working on. And there is a little nice corridor, I guess, to both of the bedrooms and the bathroom. And I think it's kind of Australian. I don't know if it happens in other countries, but generally lots of houses I've been to have this sort of tiny corridor which has access to basically the main rooms of the house, as you can see right there, which I think is quite nice because it kind of hides it, I guess. The main there's this main living space, but then to get to all the other rooms you kind of have to go out of your way and go into a different part of the house just to get there, which I don't know, I think I like it, so that's why I included it. So just quickly changing the foundations and painting the walls, and then we move straight to the kitchen like I always do and begin from there. So we're basically there now and we've started placing the countertops. I do use this really nice industrial one because I think if you live on a farm or you're at least gonna renovate a farm shed and turn it into a house, you'd probably try and keep it a little bit themed towards the Australian outback aesthetic, which I think is quite industrial, so that's why I picked the industrial looking objects. I really like the entire industrial set the Sims have, so you'll see me using more of them a bit later, the industrial bookshelf. I don't end up using the industrial looking dresser, but it does exist, which I really love. I think I use it in like some of my other builds in the past, but I don't use it in this build, sadly. I probably would have, but I decided not to. And then I turned this area into like a little backyard area. I mean, I think it's a deck area, and it does have a really big barbecue because like, if you live in Australia and you don't own a barbecue, I'm sorry, but I don't think you're Australian. Anyway, we're using this really nice table. I think I shrink it. I choose a smaller table, but it basically looks the same. And for that area, I do put like this little breakfast bar. I don't know if I don't know what they're called, but I'm just gonna call it a breakfast bar. And it's just basically 2 counters up against the wall, and there's just stools where you can sit on and have breakfast, I guess, and look out the window. I think they're called breakfast bars. I'm not sure. And for the main floor, I pick a timber floor because generally wool sheds have really old looking floors in them, and I just kept it the same. I didn't renovate the floor except for the modern part of that, like the not modern part, the extension of the house. I did put like newer looking timber floors there, but for the majority of the house it has this old looking timber floor, which I think is quite nice for this house, but in fact probably only this house, because it is an old wool shed. So I did try and keep it like similar to the theme, or I did try and keep it looking like a wool shed, I guess, in some ways or another. So I did put like old looking timber floors in, but I do put lots of mats down just to like try and hide it a little bit, because I don't think if you had really old timber floors you'd like expose it to the world. You'd probably like try and hide bits and pieces, or yeah, you wouldn't like completely keep it uncovered, especially because it's old, because it'll probably get ruined really quickly. Anyway, we're moving on to the lounge room, and I have some trouble picking like the best chairs to use, so I don't know if I want to go for like a dark wooden color or like a light wooden color. I think we go dark, but I'm not too sure. And I do put some like cabinets above the TV just to like store some DVDs or something, I guess. I'm not too sure, but it turned out looking good in the end, so I kept it. And that little square room is the bathroom. It does have some old furniture in it as well, just to like try and keep it looking like an old wool shed, because sometimes wool sheds have bathrooms in them, or like at least a toilet and a sink. So yeah, I did try and keep it looking a bit old. And I did use that old looking mirror as well, because recently I like rediscovered that mirror and I really love it. So I've been using it so much in like all of my builds recently. And I did manage to fit like a little study nook in the corner, which I think looks quite nice. It like turned a really dead space into like an actual functional room. So that's why I kept it there, and I think it looks really cool. And apart from that space, I don't think there's like any other desk space in the house except for the kids' bedroom, which is the room right next to the study area. It's actually not a study, it's probably just like a study nook, I guess. So yeah, this is the kids' bedroom. It is like it's like a white and blue color scheme. The guest bedroom is the brown room, and the main bedroom is like a really light colored room. I think it's like blue and orange or something, I forget now, but there's lots of light colors. And the guest bedroom in particular probably has the most brown in it, because I don't know why I picked that room in particular, but I chose to make the guest room have lots of really neutral tones. And because like most Australians generally love timber colors, like most Australians love to work with timber and love to use timber in their house as like furniture and stuff. So that's why there's lots of timber in this house, if you're wondering. I think I always use too much timber either way, so it's probably not much different to my usual builds, but there is a lot of timber, just as a warning. And yeah, so I do end up messing around with the furniture orientation in this room. I was having a little bit of trouble, but I figured it out in the end, and I chose to use... This is when I've decided to make it fully white and blue, which I think gave it a really nice, bright and fun vibe for whoever's living in there. And now we're just shifting stuff around here, but I decided to keep it the same. And for this room, I do end up moving the bed to the other wall, not the opposite wall, but I do put it to the side instead. And then I managed to fit like this really big painting behind it, which I think looks really cool. And there's also a reading space for your Sims to read. Although there's no bookshelf. Actually, I think I put a bookshelf inside, I don't remember, but there is a bookshelf outside if I did end up forgetting to put a bookshelf inside. But I think we're working on that now, so there is actually a bookshelf, so that's good. And yes, here we go, there we go. There's another one of those industrial looking bookshelves. And we're working, yeah, so I end up moving the seats, but it does stay in the room. And a nice dresser slash wardrobe goes there as well. There goes the barbecue that I mentioned earlier. And also there obviously has to be a way out of the deck. I do shrink it down a bit. I was going to put like fences there, but it just brought the foundation out, which was a bit weird. And I'm not too sure what else I do, but we do go back inside and then like just finish off like the decorations because I haven't finished them yet. Like I have to put paintings and stuff down. And if you notice, I did change the door again because it was a bit too glassy for me, so I did make it look a little bit less glassy. I don't know how to explain it, but it's got less glass on the door, so I did end up picking it in the end. But I think I just like made the back door like more glass than it originally was, but oh well. And in this corner ends up becoming the seasons like coat hanger spot and an umbrella stand and a shoe stand. Yeah, so here comes the clutter. if you thought there was too much clutter before, there's gonna be heaps of clutter now. I think like every slot on that desk gets filled with clutter. And I put the what do you call it, serviettes on the table. And I actually put a TV on that stand, so like I think it turned out quite nice. Like it's just like the old TV, but it looks really cool there. Look at it, look how cool it looks, oh my god. It actually fits quite nicely because I've seen lots of people, like my grandparents used to have this huge TV unit in the dining room and it had a TV in it. Like how cool is that? And yeah, if you're wondering why there's so many flower pots on the shelf on the TV unit, it's because if I put something there, it uses up that slot, so the objects that I try to put up there don't clip into those slots, so I can literally place them around freely, as you can see I'm doing right now. And when I'm done, I can just simply remove all the flower pots and it looks really nice. I do keep one though, just to make it look nicer, I guess, because there was no natural things on that shelf, but I did end up putting one. And that rusty like flower feature, that is amazing. In Australia, that would be worth a lot because it looks so cool, and lots of Australians love to use like rusty metal as like decorations outside in particular. It looks really cool. And I think this is when I mess with like the TV unit. I try and make some kind of like big TV unit, but I do put it back and just put like a cupboard above the TV instead. And lots of paintings as well, and pictures. And lots of flower pots as well. I think I put 2 flowers next to the TV. Like that is so much. I think 1 was enough, but I put 2 instead, and they're quite big. Anyway, I think after we do that, we're basically ready to move on outside soon. I might actually just skip ahead if we're not, because like I spend so much time decorating, it's not even funny. So I'll probably just skip ahead soon to the outside, because the outside's quite interesting as well, because I do try and like make it as Australian as possible, and like I put like a fire pit out there. I even put like a little fenced area, which is probably where the sheep used to get let out so they can slowly make their way towards the wool shed to get sheared. Which would be where like the truck would stop and let them all out. So the kids' bedroom gets a few projects because why not? I didn't put a TV in there because, not a TV, I didn't put a computer in there. But there is enough projects to keep them busy. And I think oh no, we have to like decorate the bedrooms a bit more. I think I'll actually just skip that because it's quite lengthy, so I'll see you guys in a moment. So the interior is basically complete, so we are now moving on to the outside. I did just finish the interior lighting at this stage, so that's why I'm doing the exterior lighting. Once we finish that, we get ready with the terrain paints, and I just literally, like I always do, paint around the entire outside of the house with the dirt paint, and then move on to decorating with plants, because you can never have too many plants in the house. So we just clutter the outside with plants, and it looks really cool. I like how it turned out. Especially, I usually love putting plants around the foundation because it really like makes it look like, I don't know, it just makes it look a lot better to me at least. And once we do that, I think this is when I like start working on like the foundation area and like a fire pit. Like I was gonna put like some kind of like chimney like fireplace, but I do just end up using a fire pit and put some seats. I couldn't really figure out which seat to use, so I end up using like the camp chair ones, because like if you go camping in Australia, you definitely have to bring like 100 of those chairs because like everyone uses them. So yeah, I put like a really nice fire pit for your Sims to just roast marshmallows in. And I do put this like really huge tree in the back just to make this place look a little bit older, especially because it's a farm, so obviously it would have been around for quite a while. And I do put this like really big dirt road in there because like trucks would have gone back and forth back in the day. But instead I just put a small little ute there just for the moment, because I think if you lived in a place like this, you'd probably have a ute instead of a regular car. And that fenced off area is what I was talking about. So the truck would stop there, let the sheep out, they'd slowly funnel into the shed to get shit, and they'll be let out the other side of the house. So that's basically the explanation of that little fenced off area. If you're wondering, if you don't like it, you can just delete it and put something else there, like maybe a garden. You can probably put a garden there, it'll be quite cool. And yeah, I was going to put like some kind of stair there, but that's probably not going to work out. So yeah, we're basically done, so I'll just leave you guys here for the moment, and I'll talk to you guys real quickly after the screenshots. Hey again, if you'd like to find this build on the gallery, just search for the user IllogicalSims, then look for the house called Woolshed Reno. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, please tell me what you think, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.